Hi there, this is Danielle Dunlop, and today I'm going to show you a card with the Sunny Studio stamps Penguin Party. They're so adorable and fun. And I'm adding the Ocean View stamps, and I'm going to add the surfboard from Beach Santa. So I'm starting here coloring the penguins from Penguin Party, and I'm using 3 of the penguins. I'm showing you here how I color them. For the black parts of the penguin, I prefer to not use a black Copic marker, but to go with the tea grays. So I'm using the T6 as my darkest for the shadows, then the T4, and then I blend it all with the T2. The reason I'm using gray instead of black is just so you can create some shadows. If you would just be using black, it's just going to be black on your image. And with these grays, it somewhat mimics the black, and we can all see that it's penguins. But it creates some dimension in your images, and I just like that better than just black. Once I have the darker parts done, I'm going to work on the white parts of penguins. And I don't like to just leave them white. I like to have some color in it. And I'm using the C0 and the C00. And with the C0, I'm creating somewhat of a shadow on the outside and the bottom of the penguin. And then I'm going to blend that with the C00. So it's super, super light, but there's at least a little bit of color in it. I'm just showing you this one penguin. The other penguins, I'm doing them the exact same way, so it doesn't need any explanation. And here you can see all the penguins done with the darker and the lighter grays. Next, I'm going to work on some reds. And I like to use R35 and R32. I think it's a great Christmas red, but it's not red. Because of the R32, you also have a bit of some pink in there. But I think it works great with the R35 as a shadow. It gives you a good dimension in your images. So here I'm doing the Christmas hat on the one penguin, and also the 3 little berries there on his hat. I'm also going to do the surfboard, the middle part of the surfboard. And I like to have the shadows on the outer edges. And sometimes the R35 and R32 can be a little hard to blend. Just make sure your cardstock is well saturated with the ink. It makes it a lot easier to get these colors blend. So I keep going back and forth between the R35 and the R32 until I'm happy with the blend that I have there. Those presents come from that same Penguin Party stamp set, and 2 of the presents are going to be in that same R35, R32. And the shadowing is just pretty easy. I keep that at the bottom of the presents, and then I'll just go up with the 32 to blend it out. We all know that oranges can be hard to blend, and recently I discovered this new color combination with YR09, YR04, and Y38. And I think so far it's been my favorite orange blend. And I'm using it here on all the legs and the snouts of the penguins. Next, I'm moving on to my very favorite color combination, BG13 and BG11. And I'm coloring here one of the Santa hats that one of the penguins is wearing. And somehow I just love a teal Santa hat. I think it's one of my favorites. And then I'm also going to do the scarf of this penguin, just keeping it all matching. And also one of the presents is going to be teal. And I'm doing the shadowing there the same way as I did with the other presents. For those presents, I'm gonna leave all the bows in white because later on I'm going to glitter all of them. I think a very colorful present with a glittery bow is just very Christmassy. Now I'm moving on to purples. I'm using Fee 15 and Fee 12. And two of the presents are going to be this purple color. And I'm just doing them the same way as I did the other presents. And then also that headband on the one penguin is going to be purple. And later on, I'm also going to do this headband with the Prisma glitter because it looks different when you have some color underneath compared to the white bows that I'm going to do with glitter. It just gives a fun, different look. Now I'm doing the rest of the surfboard, and I'm using YR24 and YR21. It's one of my favorite color combinations, and I use it a lot for foxes, for example. Then often when I have a bigger picture to color, I add YR27 in there as well as my darkest color. These colors just blend so very easily, and I think it's just a great brown orangey color. I'm also using this YR24, YR21 combination for that present that the one penguin is holding in his hands. And like the rest of the presents, I'm not going to color the bow. The bow is just going to be covered with Prisma glitter later on. Then we have these deer ears on the headband of the penguin. And I'm going to color these with E23 and E21. Then we have one more color to go, and I'm going with G24 and G21. And I'm using this color combination for those leaves on the Santa hat. And I'm going to do the mug that the one penguin is holding. I'm imagining it to be some hot cocoa, but the mug can be any color, and I just decided to go with that green. It's a green color combination that I actually don't use a whole lot, but I'm noticing that I use a lot of the same colors over and over, and I'm trying to grab some markers that I don't use too often. So to change things up a little bit and to give all my markers a good use. Now it is time to start glittering, and I'm using Lawn Fawn Prisma glitter with the Quickie glue pen. And the white parts of Santa hats, I don't never color them actually, and most of the times I glitter them. Now it first looks a little blue because of the Quickie glue pen, but once it's dry, it just looks like white glitter. So I'm doing the Santa hats and the bows of all the presents. And here you can see me glittering that headband that I colored purple first. And you will see once it's dry that it gives a different look than the parts that were white initially. You will still see that purple shining through once the glitter is dried. Now it's time for some scene building, and I'm using Sunny Studio Stamps Ocean View stamp set. You've seen me coloring the Ocean View stamps quite a lot already in videos. I will drop some links to those videos in the description box. So I have my background ready, and I'm stamping the sentiment before I'm going to add anything else. And I'm starting to build my scene. So I'm going to have this one penguin with a present in his hands over on the left under the palm trees. And then we have this other penguin that is sitting there with his hot Coco on the beach chair under the umbrella. And then my favorite part of this card is going to be the penguin on a surfboard. So I think initially this penguin was designed to look like he's ice skating, but he's kind of making the motion of being on a surfboard as well. So I love surfing, so a penguin on a surfboard is just the best I could come up with. And I really like how it turned out. Now I'm finishing up my scene with some presents randomly over on the beach, because what is Christmas without presents, right? So I have two of those presents under the palm trees. I have one present there next to the beach chair, and then I have two in the front of my scene. Now that I have all my images in place, I'm going to finish up the beach coloring. And mostly I use E57, E55, E31, and E00 for my beaches. And again, I will link to my other beach coloring videos so you can see how I do that. So now that the images are in place, I like to work on the shadows in the beach. It's just easier once everything is in place. So I'm starting with the darker E57, and then I'm going to blend it all out with E55 and E31. The E00 is what I mainly start my beach scene with, and I don't use it too often when I start blending the shadows. So it's mainly the first three markers that I'm using here to get all my shadowing done. And now to add some more details, I'm using my white Jelly Roll pen. So here's my finished card with a serving penguin. I'm so excited how this one turned out. I hope you enjoyed watching this one come together. Please click like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.